Good morning, I'm Stephanie Grindley. Good morning, everyone, and thanks for waking up with us. Well, your generosity did not disappoint. Meet Tank. Tank is an American Bulldog mix from Harrison County Dog Pound. Joining us live right now is Cindy with him. Cindy, how old is Tank?
Hi.
Hundreds of kids dressed up in their Halloween best. Get ready for a new sight in your binoculars. There was another animal hoarding situation discovered in Belmont County. William Carman of Wheeling was arraigned today on 1 count of murder. Those who opposed the mandate held signs in the rain this afternoon to make a statement. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for the home, which was deemed a total loss. Cow on I-70. You can see this footage viewers sent in of the rogue bovine hoofing it. Ceremonies nationwide today recalled American perseverance and unity. The Benwood fire chief tells me no evacuations are being issued as near 10 stacks of cars remain on fire. After a stretch of stay inside weather this week, we're finally able to enjoy the evening outside. Thank you for joining us for 7 News at 6. I'm Stephanie Grindley. You can finally put away those umbrellas as the storms are leaving the Ohio Valley alone for now. Dad joke, I canceled my subscription to the Scrabble Club. Now they're sending me threatening letters. Do you get it? Okay, make sense of this one.
Has dad jokes and dad dancing.
Yes, I got it all.
Oh, I'm not a dad joke fan. I'm not.
You're just rolling your eyes at these.
I have a different sense of humor than most of the world, I've realized in life.
No, everyone has some humor for dad.
That's
there we
so
go. Thank
funny.
you, Aaron.
So I made Steven. I gave him some furrowed eyebrows.
Wait,
what?
Yeah,
Steven,
and
can you get your face down in the shot real quick?
he's holding. He has green hair and a green sweater to go along with it. Does it look like Steven?
Attention shoppers, it's Black Friday. Thank you for waking up with us for 7 News this morning. I'm Stephanie Grindley. The holiday shopping extravaganza is finally here. 7 News reporter Ashley Kaiser is live at the Highlands right now. Ashley, they say the early bird gets the worm, but is that holding true this morning? That is a huge pumpkin. Ashley, thank you. A Tridelphia middle school teacher busts a move each morning at 7:45 to school the kids.
Stephanie, did you fall?
Steve, no, but the department's new trikes are not the easiest to operate in my defense, but they sure look cool. Check them out. You'll see Wheeling police wheeling it on 3-wheeled electric scooters, reaching up to speeds near 40 miles per hour. David Wayne Sullivan was just sentenced to no less than 5,000 years in prison for over 500 sexual abuse crimes. The president was in Pittsburgh today to talk $2 trillion. Yeah, if the weather is any indication, the COVID-19 cases just keep raining down on Ohio County. Hundreds of balloons released into the air to remember the 278 victims lost during this pandemic. Police let the media behind the yellow tape for once as up-and-coming investigators tried to figure out what exactly happened here at Northern. Admit it, you still have some Thin Mints in your freezer. We're going to show you how to take this and turn it into this. Nothing screams fall like a nice cup of pumpkin. In just a couple days, this pup right here will be making friends all the way from Louisiana. Yeah, Mr. Vargo just got off the phone with the National Weather Service, and he wants all our viewers tuning in right now to know that how we weather the hurricane's remnants has to do with what's rateful. Baby Dog and the governor congratulated Steve and Shannon Cook after they got their Pfizer vaccines in April at the Marshall County Health Department, but they also got an $80,000 truck to commemorate the moment. The truck comes as part of Week 5's Do It for Baby Dog sweepstakes.
And Stephanie, is this the best outcome officials could have asked for?
Catherine, it really was an answer to prayers. Now, just a couple hours ago, I saw crews sweating in search of this man, and Sheriff Tom Howard tells me they found him talking right here at this creek, and this is up from the I-470 baseball fields, and he has since been taken to the hospital.
A deadly shooting involving a child. Thank you for joining us for 7 News this morning. I'm Stephen Ruffing.
And I'm Stephanie Grindley. A warrant is now out for Andrew Magic Burton of Beaverton. He's accused of shooting and killing 3-year-old Paris Coleman. She brought $5 million for the city's troubled water system.
Yeah, that's one heck of a Christmas present.
Look at them all go.
Steph, this is right up your alley. You're the
Yes.
skier. You love the holidays.
I wish I was there. It's a fun night myself and children can't wait for trick-or-treating.
That's right, but
It said on the news this morning, Stephanie said she would like them to see some pictures sent in of small snowmen. The people listened. The people heard you.
You shocked me with that one. That was so cute.
I heard you guys more. We have another snowman.
Oh
that somebody
my
else made.
gosh.
A little trendy
Wait,
snowman.
it wasn't like a goblin robber.
I know, right?
When you hear the gobbles, you can kind of roll out a...
The sun is consistent. It always wakes us up every morning for our day, and hopefully it will stay the same for the new year.
If the sun does not rise, people, the world is literally going to end.
Yeah.
So
Now all the evidence will be bagged and examined in the coming weeks. I'm no investigator, but I can tell you the gun found in the trash can probably is connected. While the dance moves get the kids up and going, Mrs. Delesk says it's the kids that keep her going. In Ohio County for 7 News, I'm Stephanie Grindley, working for you.
Stephanie, did everything go to plan?
Stephen, it did. I must say this was the first ever live implosion I witnessed, and I stood among a crowd of about 30 people, nerves high, as we said goodbye to the last remnants of the steel era in this Ohio village. Have a listen.
3, 2, 1, hit it!
An end to an era ushered in with a bang. Yorkville residents watched as the last remnants of the Wheeling-Pittsburgh steel mill crumbled to the ground.
We just watched our Yorkville smokestacks get blown to pieces.
In a crowd of 30 people, nerves were high. Yorkville's police chief rushed to keep everyone on one side of the train tracks, about 1,000 feet from the pending blast.
Go to an east direction, they're going to have them drop, but being that they're brittle, they should come down and straight down on them.
In only a couple seconds of time, jitters, silence, and then
Bang.
down they came at like the sound of a gunshot with minimal dust, and instead, sighs of relief filled the air.
Every safety precaution was taken in a very great manner, and I appreciate that a lot.
But in this adrenaline rush, some came to pay homage to the industry that once made Yorkville bustle for near a century. Bystander Rich Harris was a pipe fitter for 44 years at the Wheeling Pit Mill. It treated him good. What is it that you feel right now when you see that last bit?
It's sad. It really is sad. Yeah. Well, all the jobs that was there, over 2,000 at one time.
Smell of explosives lingered in the air where the concrete once proudly stood. The chief of police says about 24 sticks of dynamite with blasting cord were strategically drilled into the base of each smokestack. And while the controlled explosions are still nerve-wracking, many in the crowd are more anxious for what comes after the smoke clears.
I mean, it's really sad to see it go because it's been a part of our community for many years, but I am also excited to see what direction that this town's going to go.
Something. We need something here, yes.
While there were mixed feelings on this implosion here today, everyone can agree they're thankful it was done safely. In Yorkville for 7 News, I'm Stephanie Grindley, working for you. From 1866 to 1995, near 2,000 prisoners were held inside these walls at any given time. And now thousands of people each summer venture to Moundsville Penitentiary to meet those souls that they say are still rumored inside. It's the 129 years of operation that serial killers, rapists, and kidnappers would see out their days.
This was a state penitentiary. This wasn't jaywalking.
The largest prison in the state was made of cells that did not care about claustrophobia, 5 foot by 7 foot to call home.
It was a little overcrowded, and some cells had to house 2 inmates, but at one time there were 3 in a cell like this. And you can see that there was a lower bunk, an upper bunk, and then if they needed, there was a 3rd mattress put on the floor.
3. The tight quarters are what inmates feared the most. They fervently believed that if you died in the pen, then your spirit would remain in captivity for all eternity. But that didn't deter the violent murders among the 998 deaths documented at the prison. One of the most infamous prisoners went by the name William Red Snyder. Now, he was murdered in his cell, and some who venture to the penitentiary say they can still hear his raspy voice call out. It's that very history and mystery that draws some people in and keeps them.
People think I'm crazy. I may be a little crazy, but honestly, I've seen apparitions, shadows, I've heard voices, I've recorded voices, heard footsteps running, you'll hear doors slamming.
The hauntings made a name for the penitentiary, almost as famous as one boy from McMecken who grew to be a cult leader. You know him as Charles Manson. Back in the day, he wrote a letter asking to be transferred to the penitentiary near home. The warden simply wrote back, "When hell freezes over." From celebrities to ex-inmates to skeptics, you will feel the hair stand up on the back of your neck.
We will average right around 30,000 visitors a year for the daytime tours, and we will do between 5,000 and 8,000 people for the nighttime paranormal.
And the paranormal didn't mind the camera or the daylight, as even we caught an alarming sound that doesn't make sense.
I was still standing there staring at me. Still standing there watching me.
At the Moundsville Penitentiary for Destination West Virginia, I'm Stephanie Grindley. Happening right now at noon, West Virginia University just announced there could be a new way to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. Find out how in just minutes, but first, your top story this noon, your weather forecast. It's been a much needed sunny day so far. Thanks for joining us for 7 News at noon. I'm Stephanie Grindley. After what feels like never-ending rain, the valley is finally experiencing some sunshine. Right now, overlooking the Wheeling area, things look pretty dry, and I want to hold to that, but how long exactly can we expect some sun without rain? Let's find out with Storm Tracker 7 meteorologist Zach Petty, who has what you need to know to be prepared for your day. Good afternoon, Zach.
Well, hey, good afternoon. Minutes, but for now, we'll send it back over to you, Stephanie.
Muggy. Zach, thanks. And this just in, the Ohio County Schools Board Education just announced they will have rapid COVID tests available in schools. The board made the announcement this morning as they discussed back to school guidelines. The 3 areas they will be making decisions on prior to school starting are social distancing, face coverings, and COVID-19 testing. As of right now, they will be practicing social distancing, regulate standard CDC cleaning protocol, and encouraging people to get vaccinated. The board did not vote on mask requirements, but instead decided to address the topic at their next meeting. And all new this noon, the only approved way to get vaccinated against COVID-19 is through a shot in the arm. However, WVU medical researchers hope to change that. Scientists say they've developed a nasal mist that would inhale through your nose and would offer protection against the virus in its emerging variants. After all, the flu vaccine is offered nasally, and the fear of needles has led to some COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy. The team is looking for commercial partners to help facilitate production at scale and further clinical evaluation. And looking across the nation this afternoon, the CDC says anyone who received either the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine will now need a 3rd booster shot 8 months after becoming fully vaccinated. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House. Natalie, thank you. The government says for now it is only recommending booster shots for people who received the Pfizer or Moderna vaccines. They say studies are being done to see if booster shots is needed for those who receive the Johnson & Johnson 1-dose vaccine. And continuing across the nation right now, police are investigating a report of a possible explosive device in a pickup truck outside of the Library of Congress on Capitol Hill. Police say everyone has been evacuated. Law enforcement say investigators are working to determine whether the device is an operable explosive and whether the man in the truck is holding a detonator. It comes months after a pipe bomb was left at the headquarters of the DNC and the RNC in Washington a day before thousands of pro-Trump rioters stormed the U.S. Capitol in January. There are new unemployment numbers in West Virginia, and they're showing a very positive trend. The rate dropped to 5% in July, which is the lowest since January of 2020. That's before the coronavirus pandemic began. Unemployment reached a peak of 15.6% in April of 2020 as employers closed temporarily. Since then, it's been slowly dropping, and less than 40,000 residents are now without a job. The national rate in July stood at 5.4%. Ohio may have unofficially put a stop to the death penalty, but the state Supreme Court has just set an execution date for a convicted murderer. Yesterday, they decided on a 2025 execution for Samuel Moreland, who killed 5 people in Dayton in 1985. Moreland has used all of his state and federal appeals. Governor Mike DeWine put the execution moratorium in place last year as the state is having difficulty finding lethal injection drugs. He says lawmakers have to choose a different method of capital punishment before anyone can be put to death. Ohio's Supreme Court has also delayed a ruling against the automaker Volkswagen. A lawsuit seeks damages over a scandal in which the company reportedly cheated on U.S. diesel emissions tests. They found to have rigged vehicles to pass them. The court ruled earlier this summer that a federal law does not stop the state from suing Volkswagen. However, the company was granted a delay in the ruling while it appeals to the Supreme Court. Looking across the Mountain State right now, the state fair for West Virginia continues in Lewisburg this week, but it isn't all about the food and rides. The Mobile Vietnam Veterans Memorial has appeared at the fair for 10 years now. It's a smaller version of the memorial in Washington, D.C., and honors residents who fought in the Vietnam War. The purpose is to teach younger generations about the treatment of those who returned home and to remember those who were lost. One of the organizers says he wants to make sure veterans' families know that they are appreciated.
Youth really wants to know what happened.
The State Council offers name rubbings for family members and friends of those who died fighting for their country. Are you ready for some fresh food to end your summer? The folks at the Ohio Valley Farmers Market are, and they're preparing for another week of selling their fruits and veggies. They'll be at the parking lot in the Ohio Valley Mall tonight between 4 and 7 p.m. between the Panera Bread and Chick-fil-A. Head over there and see just how well our local producers are feeding us. Coming up next, Zach is eyeing up some sunshine for this weekend, but not fully cleared out from the rain. Find out more details on his full forecast right after this break.